game, you know, being friends together. So we have to see what they can do, and I don't expect anyone to be left on stage.
And I didn't expect a Jace ban, that's for sure. Bans have come thick and fast. Maokai Rise kind of expected top laner. We heard, of course, Monte Cristo talking about Save and Go fighting over that one. Zillion Thresh and Alistair, very standard. But a Jace ban?
Yeah.
Wow. They have something planned here.
The bans came out really quick. The Jace ban, Deficio and I were looking at the Korean solo queue ladder account of Cool, and he actually had just been playing Jace. So same research done from Shield, it looks like here, preemptive Jace ban.
But it does mean Zed first pick.
Yeah.
And Goong so far is undefeated on Zed, and Save can even play it in the top lane, so it doesn't have to go mid lane.
And it means that on the other side, OMG were able to trade Lee Sin and Janna, 2 huge picks for them.
Absolutely. So, of course, Zed was first pick against, it was Group 1 to Game 1 of Group D. Can't remember which one it was. Blind picked it. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
But like you said, this is a big thing we've been talking about. Loveling versus Watch. It's almost a second featured matchup because it pairs in with Save and Going. And they will have to help each other out. That is possibly the lanes to carry. Of course, a lot of focus is on the fact that Cloud's come in. We will see which way it goes. Zephyr's played a lot of Twitch in the regional qualifiers. Has yet to pull it out here in groups. Did go with Corky a lot.
Okay, so just those probably back to Twitch. Twitch was his like main AD carry. If you look at regionals, and the way White Shield liked to play with the Twitch was he was gonna be the guy popping out whenever they wanted to start picks or team fight and just have the high burst for these 7 seconds and use that to quickly burst down targets. Instead though, falling back on the Corky.
The crowd are just like, oh.
We saw it a few times. I mean, mid-game AD carries has been a big thing at Worlds so far.
Yeah, and you could tell what was going through Shield's heads right there. They were sort of mousing over the Nocturne and the Twitch, which were regular season picks for them, but they went with their group stage picks at Worlds this time around. Kha'Zix has been pretty big for him, as well as at Corky, as you mentioned. But man, I want to go back to that Lee Sin. I feel like that is just a huge, huge swing in this jungle matchup. For Loveling, this is his favorite champion, and that's a really crucial first lock in.
And it's also Watch's favorite champion. So not only do you get Loveling on his main pick, you can also deny it from Watch here. And you now have a Sidestone jungler against the Kha'Zix who normally doesn't build Sidestone, which is going to be a big deal because Najin White Shield is a team who's known for the vision control. Small edge to OMG already just looking at the junglers.
All right, so they did just lock in Ahri, which is huge for Cool. That's actually one of the big reasons that they got their seed here. That third place seed was a big carry game of Ahri from him. And it opens up a lot of pick potential. It's always a fun matchup to watch, the skill matchup between Zed and Ahri in the mid lane. And can he land the charm?
One thing, of course, for Gorilla is he's picked and played any support he wants really damn well, that's for sure. Of course, Nami was one of the fallbacks, but it looks like Braum could well be the choice this time around. He's hovering over it, certainly giving it a lot of thought, and we're still wondering what is going to go in that top lane. We haven't seen either of them go with it yet. Oh, this is great. So this happened.
Top lane Zed.
This happened, of course, against Cloud9. As you mentioned, it could be Zed or Kassadin. Save and Goong can switch this, whatever gets picked now from OMG.
And count them, that's 3 assassins over on the side of Najin White Shield and a black shield to protect them from the charms. So they're gonna have some quick shield from Gorilla, and they're just gonna rely on a ton of damage.
There's so much single target damage and like pick potential from White Shield. Gorilla is a beast in terms of skill shots as well. He can land the binding. He makes it pretty much impossible for OMG to get an engage in now. You have to listen, he wants to kick back a target. Nope, Black Shield is there. Charm as well from Ahri, making it really hard for OMG to actually engage onto White Shield, and they can set up the picks. And they love to split push. And OMG as a team is very tunnel visioned on 5 versus 5 team fights. They are not very good against split pushers. Now you have a Kassadin and a Zed.
Okay, so which one would you prefer? Obviously Aurelia's going to be in the top, it seems. It's going to be an Aurelia or an Ahri. What would you pick against either?
Oh, that's a tough one here. I mean, Zed against Ahri in mid lane. Zed has the pressure early on, so that could be in favor of Goong. But once Ahri gets a blue buff and cooldown reduction and some armor, like an arm guard, she can actually take over the lane. So maybe we're going to see them swap after the start. So Zed in mid lane for the first few levels, then swap later on when the blue buff comes in. Blue buff Kassadin, blue buff Ahri. You go even against each other, armor on one side, and then Kassadin has the...
So one more final thing, with an Aurelia in there. Are we actually going to see a split push from OMG? Because they like to team fight.
I doubt it. If they do split push, it's usually only for maybe 60 seconds or something, and then he'll join the team for a team fight. I think if it's going to be split pushing prowess, you got to go with Shield here, especially because they have so many options with which to do it. And that's a great thing about locking in 2 different damage type assassins. As you said, they can switch around who's going into that lane depending on what sort of defenses have been built from OMG.
Yeah, and it's going to be so scary. If Cool in the mid lane on Ahri doesn't actually get a lead early and snowball, he will never be able to kill Zed in the late game in a split push. If, however, he does get the lead, and because there's such a strong mid game here from OMG, they might be able to actually just win early game, win mid game, and close it out even before this Cassadin gets going and before Zed gets going at all.
Yeah, I mean, as good as the Ahri from Cool has been, this matchup is so tense because if you miss that one charm, Zed can all in you.
Absolutely. This could be a very big first game here, of course, as we start this series off. Who do you guys at home think will take it in game 1? Tweet us at LoL Esports and use either the hashtag NWS win or OMG win, and we'll look at those votes shortly. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of the quarterfinals. The final quarterfinals here in Busan. Winner will face Starhorn Royal Club. Meanwhile, the loser will sadly go home, and all China's hopes are on OMG here.
All right, now this game, I just have to say, it would be tragic if there were lane swaps. I'm 100%, everybody in the audience is also rooting for regular lanes because this matchup, going versus Save, on 2 of their classic champions, 2 of their best champions. This is like one of the most looked forward to Chinese versus Korean solo lane matchups, you know, right up there with Uzi and Imp. This is just going to be so, so good in top lane.
And it's funny if you look at the 2 teams and the players, they kind of have the same style. Because you have this carry solo laners on both teams, Cool and Going, and Save and Save and Goong on the other side for Najin Wild Shield. And then you have somewhat weaker AD carries, where the supports, of course, have to try and carry them through the laning phase, and they need to get to this mid-late game point before they can really impact. And then the inconsistent junglers who can show up. I think Loveling might have an edge over Watch though.
Oh yeah, that Lee Sin pick is going to do wonders. We'll see if he does actually spend time up on that top side of the map. That vision point that you made was going to be a really big thing too, because building into that Sightstone will allow OMG to get more vision than usual. The thing is, Najin White Shield are so good at clearing out vision. Save has the most wards per minute cleared of any top laner.
This is going to be a push, and they're going to go straight blind into this push. They have to start out with a ward here, or maybe it's going to be a binding from Save. We'll see how they go in. They're going to start setting up. It's going to be an invade any second. 148. Keep your eye on the clock. Neither of them can see each other. They're going to go dead. Face them straight in there. Lovely's going to go down, but he manages to get out safe. Watch is taking low. The exhaust is working on him. The OMG going to back away, but they are the ones with first blood, and they are still pushing.
It was only 4 members from OMG here, but the Howling Gale from Jenna at level 1 is so strong. It knocked up every single member from White Shield here. Gorilla couldn't flash away in time, ends up dying.
Cool went back so late to base there, 4 versus 5. What a big start here. Let's see how this first blood. Oh, it's going to be lane swaps after that.
No. Standard lane, just the top side.
The answer swap.
The switcheroo, and of course, both of them fighting on early. We'll see how it works out, because it was San that picked up that first blood, so he can go back and get himself a chunk more gold than Zephyr will have a chance. Going, teleporting down the bottom. Save already done it as well, so we'll keep an eye on this one, because it's not your stereotypical setup, a Cassadin versus an Aurelia in the top lane that's down the bottom.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Save. The funny part is he has these very unique champion picks. Again, we've seen Zed top lane, the Cassadin we see right now. He plays AP Nidalee top lane as well. Like, he's so many unique picks, and Loveling, he wants to invade already.
I mean, it was a really good ward by Shield, because Loveling, one of the great things about him last year is he did these interesting routes that people weren't expecting. It was like he goes, fight, Watch got it!
Fight, Watch gets it, Loveling's in trouble. Cool and coming around the side there, there's Goong. Loveling goes down, the double buff goes across, a single buff, sorry, it only went to Goong because he hadn't taken the blue yet.
Last year, he would do these level 2 red-to-red invades or level 2 dives, and they worked out for him then. But what a good counter from Shield. They have the ward in place. They see his invade and collapse. Great job from the mid. And
he's going for it. The Ignite goes down. He's got the red buff ticking. That keeps the slow on Cool. Cool forced out the way there. And this is going to cause so many problems for Cool in that mid lane. A red buff Zed this early on, he can just go all in again in a moment.
Yeah, and that was a very big mistake from OMG in this mid lane. Cool, he wanted to push out the wave and force Goon to stay on the tower and pick up the farm so he couldn't walk into the jungle and help Watch here. He did manage to get him pushed down in time. Goon walked in before Cool could react, and they managed to get a kill. And of course, Watch expecting the invade here, at least making it a bit harder for Loveling.
Yeah, I have to say, for Shield, you got to give that credit to Gorilla. That ward was his ward that he bought at the very beginning. The real ward that was going to last 3 minutes.
The real hero.
I mean, you talk about all the time, the prep here from Shield for long series is so good.
Cloud putting so much damage down on Gorilla. Gorilla taking, of course, the minion hits as well, which stacked it on there. The Howling Gale interrupting him. Watch, though, he's going walking about here, and he's going to go straight into Loveling once again. This time around, will they fight again? Loveling doesn't want any of it, tries to safeguard away. Watch pounces on towards him. A lot of damage going down. Of course, that red buff slowing and burning on him, and he's not backing away. Catches him with the Void Spikes and clears out the ward.
And this is what Watch loves to do as well. Both these junglers can invade on each other, get the D wards. Watch, he does it as well. Once he gets the lead, he will live in your jungle.
So going, trying to put pressure on Save. While this is all happening, San was making the move. We saw him there. They know he's coming down the bottom. Save's going to back away, so the lane swap once again coming in.
Yeah, jungle aggression from Kha'Zix as soon as he gets that lead over Lee Sin, and it pays off there. Save is easily able to back off. And up top, Shield are just getting a free lane here for Zephyr on Corki. They're trying to get him to that level 6 point very quickly so he can start throwing out poke.
And notice how he's pushing in the wave because there's no teleport for Go going, so they want to deny him all the farm here in the top lane. And because the rest of the members from White Shield is on the bottom side of the map, then OMG can't just go and take the dragon.
Trouble for OMG.
Cloud's
It's going to be a 3-man. Cloud went aggressive, but Gorilla and Watcher coming around the side. He's going to be the focus. Oh, the Dark Binding completely whips. And now they're going to try and turn this one around. It's going to be a tricky with so many minions they can't push on. And OMG get away safe.
Oh, Gorilla should have been patient there and not fire the binding straight away. She just walked into the bush here, forced the flash first, and then fire the binding later. Otherwise, Cloud might have gone down.
Yeah, a little bit trigger happy right there. Some extra vision here. Currently an advantage of Shield on the bottom side too because of that early excursion into their jungle that Watch made. Gorilla going to go the same path here. One thing with Shield, they supplement the vision that they already have with a further line of wards. So Gorilla right there, you can tell he's not taking the risk getting that deep ward, but it will provide them vision for the second blue buff spawn, and we have to watch. Since Kha'Zix is already ahead of Lee Sin, are they going to set up one of those classic second blue buff handoff ganks and try and take advantage?
Keep our eye on the difference in that mid lane. You saw the stats come up a moment ago for Goong. Incredible stats in the group stages on Zed, answering a lot of critics, of course, but also just so cool missing out on that siege minion, so missing a lot of gold there. So he's being pressured by Goong, of course, who had that red buff early on, got himself that kill, and you can see the difference in gold currently between him is 500. Of course, a lot of that does go down to that gold, but definitely starting to put pressure on him in the lane phase.
Yeah, and it's such a big deal for OMG to get an early first blood on your AD carry because, again, San is this somewhat weak laner. I mean, we often hear about OMG. It's all about Loveling, Cool, and going in this early mid game. They have to be the ones to carry it, and San just has to survive his laning phase. Giving him the first blood, I mean, it gives him the item advantage and makes him actually dominate his lane or win his laning phase.
Of course, pickaxe was picked up by San. He's back down that bottom. Wasn't quite enough money for Zephyr to go for that Phaedra. Went for the second Endurance. Was left alone at the top for a fair amount of time, but is behind currently in CS on San, who's had a fair reign down the bottom here. Gorilla, though, looking to set up something. Dark Binding lands. Sun didn't even remotely dodge that.
And I have to point out, for Cloud, so he's been doing a good job controlling the vision down here in the bottom lane. Not only did he get jungle wards over on their side of the map, but he also pink warded their own blue and took out that deep ward that Shield were able to get on their last invade.
It is very important that Cool gets this blue buff when it actually spawns in the mid lane so he can start trading with Goong. Once you get cooldown reduction on Ahri, you can spam this Zed away from the lane here. You can make sure he can never all in you because he's too low, because he already picked up the Cutlass. And just if people wonder, when do you go Brutalizer, when do you go Cutlass on Zed? If you want to be able to all in, if you want to be able to roam around, Cutlass is the best item. It gives you all in potential. Brutalizer, it's more just for poking in lane.
And look at this, expecting the all in here, Leveling hovering around for a counter gank. Cool sort of trying to bait it in right now, daring Goong to go for it.
A lot of ward coverage in their own jungle from OMG. Look at the pink wards on the map right now. 3 of them down. You can see, of course, that Najin Whiteshield just picked up a few of their own and put them down. Quick burst from Zephyr there, starting to land those rockets. We've seen so many good Corkis throughout this tournament. Really has been a fantastic champion, but you could say the same for Lucian. Sneaky single-handedly got that banned in the second quarter finals, of course, against Samsung Blue. So we'll keep our eye on these AD carries, see if they draw any bans as this best of 5 progresses.
We just keep seeing teams focus on these mid-game power spike AD carries like Lucian, like the Corki, and we heard going in the interview before the game say, we want to control the pace, we don't want to let Najin Whiteshield go to the late game, so we want a strong mid-game here and try and finish out the game in time.
There it is. Since that ward was cleared out, not able to take advantage of the blue handoff. Good juke there from Cool. Now,
they're moving in.
This could be a dive here.
A binding could land. This could be the end of Cool. He's in trouble. Does he realize there's no minion wave right now? Oh, they're just around the side. I think he just spotted them. Yeah, ping goes down. They spotted him. They knew Gorilla and Watcher was around there. That's lucky.
Now, talking about that bottom lane of OMG, I think they really need to make use of this Lucian-Janna combo. It's great at taking down early turrets, and since he did get that first blood, and he's got the early brutalizer on top of his pickaxe now, try and make use of this. Put on the shield, go in for the harass, chunk Zephyr out of lane.
So we haven't really had a chance to talk too much about the top lane. Of course, we know that Cassidy's going to take a while to get going. He needs to get those items built up, but these guys are pretty much free farming at the moment. It's a straight up head-to-head between them. You can see even in CS as well. Was a wave just crushed up. Going saves his teleport, doesn't make use of that, doesn't rush back in because he needs it. They're expecting a dragon soon, I believe.
Yeah, and like, I mean, just notice down towards the dragon itself. There's a lot of ping wards from both teams, actually.
Both junglers in the mid. They're coming in. Goon going aggressive with that. There's Loveling, catches on. Watch pounces away. Has not evolved the wings this early yet. And pink ward going down, and again, instantly protected. Gorilla comes around, it's like, hands off my pink wards. But OMG do get it down early. We also see Aurelia's going very deep in the jungle. OMG making moves here and looking to try and collapse on this mid lane.
Looks like it could be a dive here. Cool has already gone for a charm straight up in lane. We'll see if he tries to lead off with another one here. Going back's off, though, a little bit dangerous. They don't want to throw away early dragon.
No, but OMG has invested a lot of wards onto this dragon area here, and for now, it's been backing away. There's no ping wards to clear out the wards from Najin Whiteshield. Everyone can kind of go back to lanes, keep playing safe. Look at Save, though. He's roaming from this top lane. Cool is very far up the lane. This might be scary.
There's no ward in that river. Pink ward goes down from Save. He's going to be on Cool quicker than he knows it. Of course, with that Rift Walk and Force Pulse, it will get the slowdown and may buy enough time for Goong. Here comes Loveling to try and counter, but he backs away. And they choose not to go for it once again.
And again, these deep wards that Shield are keeping up inside that blue side jungle, they keep seeing Loveling's movements. Again, another ping goes out, so they don't go for that aggressive move mid.
Basically, just both teams. I mean, they have the defensive wards, we have the pings on both sides, and then they have 1 or 2 deep wards to try and threat the jungle. Yep. This is the thing about Aurelia. Once she gets her ulti, she has this all-in potential every single time it's up.
Well, Goong left the lane. That's the kick straight onto Watch. The charm doesn't go down in time. Has to use his ultimate to stealth away around that tower. Goong came in, so they had to try and risk it, but that's 2 big ultimates down now.
And a flash as well from Loveling here, just trying to get Watch who just popped his ulti and got his stealth.
There are so many skill shots that you have to dodge in this bottom lane against Corki and Morgana. They're dodging a lot of the rockets, but then the bindings are landing because it's a great use of crossing over those 2 skill shots here from Zephyr and Gorilla.
Dragon going to get started off here. You can see Najin Whiteshield setting up for it. They're in towards the pit. It started off. There was a ward there just a second ago from OMG. It's only just timed out, so OMG well aware of this, and they realize they can't fight for it because they just used those ultis in the mid.
Just invested 2 ultis and a flash on trying to kill Watch in the mid lane. Once they are gone, you don't want to risk take the fight. Dragon for Whiteshield, and remember, they have this Cassidy going into late game, they have the Zed going into late game. They are happy just sitting back and farming, and if you get a Dragon as well, that's a huge bonus for them.
Yeah, a great call right there from Shield, trying to take advantage of just the littlest of things. Like Shield didn't, or OMG didn't even take damage doing that, but because they used so many cooldowns, they were able to get inside, clear out the vision, and earn themselves that objective.
It's kind of funny how Whiteshield used to be this like full late game team back in spring 2014 when they actually got it to the final and lost to Samsung Blue. they were like known just to be late game only, and like they would out-rotate people in the late game, they would control minion waves, and then they would beat you in late game team fights. Now they've actually learned at least to play the mid game a bit better.
Bottom lane dive possibly coming in here. White Shield looking towards it. There is a pink in now from OMG, so they're going to be aware of it if it happens. And they've got to be careful. That was 5 members spent down there trying to put some pressure on, but it's giving a lot of free time in the top lane to go going. He's just working down those minions of tower.
Yeah, I was wondering if Save would think that it would be worth his teleport to go up there, but it is dangerous already. We saw how much going can bully Save right now, so he has to be very, very careful whenever he goes heads up in that lane. He's still in the mana building phase for Kassadin, hasn't even completed his Rod of Ages, so it's going to be a fairly late Rod of Ages to stack up.
Loveling's about to find Watch, goes straight in towards him, has the ward coverage. No, he flashes across, Watch in trouble. Go and gets himself the kill.
And we have seen this so many times already. Loveling and Watch, they find each other, but because Going had walked down from the top lane, he was ready, easy kill, and a blue buff for cool. That's very important.
And this time, Loveling hits the Q after his kick. Very key there. Keep that vision on him and get him into position for going to dash over.
Oh, going for Goong here. See if Cool actually wants to jump towards him.
Ooh, good turnaround on Cool there. Wasn't quite expecting so much burst in his face, but it does force Goong slightly out of lane. They're going to step back in, keep it going. So, going in this top lane. Does he fancy going for save? Has his ultimate still, remember. Last time around it worked out well, but Rod of Age is not quite completed for save, while that Phage, of course, is still sitting on going. He needs to get that Triforce built up as quick as possible now.
And it's always fun to watch OMG play because, again, like the 2 solo laners and Loveling together, they have so much synergy and they keep making plays together, they keep forcing fights.
Oh, going.
Onto Cool.
Going all in. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Well, Pop will definitely not have any bite behind it. Spirit Rush was used by Cool, though. And he is safe and clear, and that maybe... Are they going to try and force an objective off this? That was just a play from the mid laner, supported by Gorilla, but not really backed up.
No, Goong probably wanted to bait Cool actually to take the fight with him and stay around, and then maybe land a binding from Gorilla, but Cool, he was just out of the fight instantly.
Well, we do see Watch making his moves in this bottom lane, but that pink ward from San early on is keeping them covered in that tri-bush. Does mean that 3 members are there. Lovely is backing off on top of a ward here, which means they know that this bottom lane pairing will be on their own if they can push in, but Watch is not having any of it. He's backed off, and you know, we were looking at the start of this game towards the top lane, towards the featured matchup, and we're expecting to see a lot of support from Watch and Loveling, but honestly, both teams have just let them go at it one-on-one.
Yeah, it was actually Going who came to support Loveling and came down to pick up that kill inside the jungle. But really, yeah, Save and Going up there have been left to their own devices, and honestly, it is going in Aurelia's favor at the moment. He's been able to bully Save under his tower, you know, chased Save out of his lane. He had to go down, try and create something somewhere else. Kassadin's got to worry while he still stacks up that rod. That's
the thing, man. Aurelia's mid game, it's the power spike is a strong point, and Kassadin is actually extremely weak in the mid game because he's still stacking up his items. He's gonna need an hourglass. Normally, when we see Save play Kassadin, he likes to jump in first, bait the enemy team to go on him, and then pop the hourglass, and then simply buy time for the rest of his team to join the fight.
Yeah, it's funny because both teams are going to have those Trinity Forces, and both teams are going to have those hourglasses. Cool currently working on his as well. These teams, not only the players match up really well, but also both of these 2 sets of champions.
So look at the ward coverage right now. OMG have way more ward coverage. They know exactly what is going on. Watch is walking blindly into this jungle, into Loveling's territory. Loveling is there. Cool almost collapsed on him, and he's being forced away. Looking across, OMG obviously had the 3 wards where they went for the gank on the blue. At the moment, Najin White Shield are very much lacking on any ward coverage. They've gone for the 2 crucial points in OMG's jungle, but that's about it with the 1 single pick.
Yeah, keep in mind, they don't have the sight stone we have on the other side.
That poke from this lane. They're going to get this turret pretty soon, and that might be in time for Dragon.
It's actually perfect timing for them also because there's teleport ready on Save in case a fight should break out in this bottom lane. But it's so hard for Lee Sin to gank a Morgana lane when there's the Black Shield just to stop him from actually kicking back a target.
Well, the Cullen was used. That should be back up just in time for the Dragon fight if they go for it. Still trying to bait Goong into something here. Loveling cleared out the pink ward in this brush just a few moments ago. I wonder if they're trying to bait him. They're going to collapse towards him. Going was heading down here. We also have Gorilla just off the side, but nobody getting drawn into it. both teams, they want to make a pick just before this dragon spawns, but nobody is falling for the traps.
Yeah, and they're both playing it very well. You can see they're constantly fighting over those river wards, so both top laners can get their roams in. Neither of them have had their successful roams mid, though. Here goes going in onto Save once again, chasing him out of the lane.
Yeah, you can see he's definitely got the better of him right now. Of course, Triforce completed compared to that Rod of Ages, which is just stacking out right now. So Save currently in a losing lane in that top, but he's still doing okay. They were very much even in terms of CS, but you can see it's starting to crumble in favor of Going.
And it's gonna get explosive pretty soon here, especially since this shield team is so good at killing people who are out of position. Something's gonna happen for the dragon, and then turrets can fall very quickly. This is a very good chase team here as well. If one of these bindings hits.
Ooh, Cool in trouble. He's already taken low. He can't get involved in this fight. Surely Shield have this one in their hands. Cool could play it coy. He could be fighting from the edge of the aggression range, but at the moment,
that should be the dragon here, because they don't really have good vision to get through the jungle, and if you run into another binding right there, there's so much damage with all these assassins, they can instantly kill them.
This is the second time where Cool is one of the reasons OMG cannot fight for the dragon.
whoa!
He's
dead.
down.
Yeah, no problem there, absolutely. Good dark binding from Gorilla starting that one off, but Najin Whiteshield, they can keep on pressuring this turret. The culling was just used. San is here, so they should have decent wave clear, but that tower's low.
Man, Cool, again, getting hit with the skill shots, and he finished Deathfire Grasp instead of trying to finish Hourglass really early. Didn't even get to use his activation.
No. Backing away. You can see Save have gone down the bottom, so he's going to see if he can pick up that top turret. Of course, don't forget, the turret at the top lane did go down to the minions, so go and force that one out. Is still sitting on that teleport if required, but they're letting Zephyr come in. He's going to take this mid turret.
And we're going to see this a lot from Whiteshield. They're really good at controlling the minion waves on the side lanes. So as soon as the top wave was pushing, they just group bottom lane and mid lane, and therefore start pushing up the towers. If OMG send one member up to wave clear, suddenly they lack a guy, they cannot defend their towers, and easily Whiteshield rotate quickly.
And just like that, because of that one binding, the Cool Ed, they're now 3,000 gold behind because of those two turrets going down. Goon's gonna get focused on. They try to pull him back. He will go down. Save also caught out. Cool will get revenge here. He will drop. There's two kills for OMG. And there's the mid tower gonna go down.
So picks for each team. Last time, Shield, they took stuff off all sides of the map when they got their pick, and it was just a binding that didn't even get a kill. What can OMG get? Because they actually got 2 kills this time, but they aren't getting the objectives after. Shield got Dragon and 2 turrets off of that binding, and the 1 kill.
Well, we'll see whether this tower does go down. Gorilla has got reinforcements. Zephyr just caught by the tip of that light bind there. Watch comes around. That keeps them clear. But while this is all happening, Going has once again headed to that top lane. Got himself free farm. Cool is starting to get going now. He's got himself that Deathfire Grasp. We just saw how potent he is against Save.
And that's
this
why
is become a problem.
That's why he got it instead of the Hourglass, so he could actually dual cast on here. He just walked straight down to this bottom lane. Save was pushing it up, didn't expect him, and instantly just goes down. Cost him a tower as well, so big mistake by Save here, going down one-on-one.
Well, I mean, it's just these teams are so evenly matched right now. A couple of bindings hit for Najin Shield, and they get a couple objectives. OMG get a couple of picks, and now they took the bottom turrets.
The very important part, though, for Whiteshield is they got the mid tower down, and instantly you can see some depot wards on this side of OMG, because mid tower's gone. You can walk into the enemy jungle, place the wards. You can even place one in the middle of the lane, so you can see the enemy team walk into their own jungle, and therefore you know where everyone is on the map.
And now we're getting towards that mid game here, where Shield really shine with their split pushing prowess.
Going trying to tank this one out. He may well just have enough. Flashes away from the Soul Shackles. Goon just comes around. 4 members of Najin Whiteshield pushing on the top tower, but look at this. OMG, 5 members all collapsing on this one point. They may run straight towards that tri-bush. They will back away. They're not going to go for the fight.
And once again, he has big minion wave in the top lane. Whiteshield, they move up there. They force OMG away, even though there were 5 members. They had to run from mid lane to top lane, and they didn't do it fast enough. Therefore, lost the tower.
And it's not even the quantity of wards that Shield put down. It's always the quality. Right before they're going to move to this top side of the map, you point out all these wards they have on the red side. Boom, top turret's dead. Save was split pushing down bottom the entire time, so that lane is now pushing. Buys him time to go back to base and purchase this Kassadin. Rod is stacked up, and now he's got the needlessly large rod.
So something we've talked about many, many times with the Chinese teams is right there. 5 members all clapped, but as you said, 3 members all coming from that mid lane. They could have taken the mid turret.
Yeah.
Instead, they chose, we want to fight in that top lane.
They could decide just to trade towers, but it's what we often see, but it's also, it's so much easier for us because we see the movements up here, and when you're in the situation, you see 5 members or 2 members pushing top, and you're like, okay, let's run up and defend it, but you don't realize it's already too late, and that's why you need the quick decision-making to just change your style or change your approach, and instead trade tower for tower instead of trying to run up and defend.
And that's where Shield have found so much of their success, is forcing their enemies to play reactively. They constantly are dragging them across the map and taking those little incremental leads.
Yeah, and we actually saw Cloud9 do that really well against White Shield, where they were running around the map with them, constantly traded objectives, and White Shield actually didn't really have much of an answer until the very last team fight when they managed to win it.
They did against Alliance in game 1 though. 7,000 gold behind. They managed to pull Alliance from pillar to post and completely keep them guessing. Of course, they got the revenge in game 2, but we won't talk about it. That's a long time ago. Poor old Alliance. Their perfect game. Oh, what could have been. As it stands, it's Najin White Shield that are here. They are the #1 team from Group D. And they are starting to make some moves on OMG here.
And again, you know, drag coming up in 50 seconds. They switch their focus once again down to the bottom side of the map. Push up mid and bottom, get that vision control that they're going to need in about 40 seconds.
Oh, the kick lands, they go for save. It's a what? The kick lands. The jungler will go down. He gets caught out by the calling. It was going that ended it. The charm landed on save, but he happened to rift walk just at the right moment. Jungler down, dragon spawns in 20 seconds.
Look how little OMG can do though, because Shield prepped this so well, top pushing and bottom pushing. They're going to try and siege up here mid.
Oh, Cloud caught out, Gorilla backs away from this one. They do get themselves a tower. Dragon's up in 13 seconds.
Oh!
The damage is huge from Safe. He's starting to ramp up. He had that rod. He got the boots. And now, just like that, OMG are forced away just in time for Watch to spawn.
This is why Corki has been such a big pick this world. The poke from him. Rockets landing, binding landing, and Save jumps in to pick it up.
Yeah, not the first binding we've seen from Gorilla in this game here. Taking out the kill. On the
Going, tries to go in, but he's going to get caught out. Good follows through. Here comes Save. Damage onto Sand is just massive. And they are forced away again. They can't contest this now. They have to back away and play defensive.
Those double, triple assassin comps, so fun to watch. You can see Shield jumping in. Goom easily able to get back to his ultimate shadow there. And after the picks, they do pick up the dragon. Again, both side lanes still pushed up. They get to continue their invade. Blue going to be a steal for them.
It's just all about this long range poke and the binding coming in, which sets up all the kills. OMG stay around, should be able to trade for a blue buff here, but they just wanted to take mid tower and then walk down to Dragon. After they got the kill on Watch, credit to Loveling, by the way, that was a beautiful setup by him. And then one binding lands, poke from Corki, and the all-in potential of the Kassadin.
He was expecting the quick insect kick, and he actually caught Save, ironically, and Save rift walked away, which pulled him further in. So it's like, this is great, I don't even need to use a ward. I'll just kick you anyway. So OMG, falling behind in gold here. They're 4,000 gold differential. Equivalent turrets, they have all of the outers down, but it's Najin White Shield that are making the plays.
The one thing here for Shield that we can ding them on maybe is this Corki build, second item, Last Whisper. It's even debatable if third item, Last Whisper for Corki is a good pickup.
Third item, Leandris is not good for a Corki.
When you're trying to get style points, then it's definitely worth it. But, you know, to his credit, there's a lot of armor on the side of the team, but still, second item, Last Whisper there. Not quite as efficient as he could be.
Oh, Bloodthirster would definitely be great for him. Also, just for the poke, he's dealing with his rockets already.
Well, Gogoin's done well to get the Triforce and Frozen Heart so quick, I think, on this one. But we'll see, of course. Lovely clearing out. They will find that pink ward, no doubts about this one, like yesterday. That's going to get cleared out easily. Can they collapse on towards Goong here? Goong and Watch just over the side, and again, that threatening dark binding from Gorilla keeps them on their toes. And Najin White Shield will easily back off from this one and take the bottom turret.
Yeah, look at their focus. All of their wards are spent on this blue side jungle. Every single Najin Shield ward is in this side, and that's where they're split pushing. They get the pressure mid, they easily get another turret here, pulling OMG across the map.
And even better, they can now go back, go up to this top lane here. Going wants to try and push it in, and there's a huge minion wave waiting for them. Whoever goes back here, if they want to use teleport from safe, that is a lot of farm. And this wave up here, nobody's been top lane for a long time. It was pushed all the way into the tower of OMG, reset and pushed back here. So that's a lot of farm lost from OMG, and now gained by Wild Shield once Corki comes up and picks up all of it.
Starting to see OMG falling into their habits here of trying to get kills en route, trying to find something, and just being too late to the party. If they'd have just focused and ran straight to that turret, they probably could have got it down, maybe put a bit of pressure on it, but instead, they were looking for kills.
Okay.
This is their one play.
Okay.
Since all the vision for Shield is spent on the bottom side where they're split pushing, this is a good call from OMG. This is their one play. Other side of the map, they commit to it, and they're going to pick it up.
That's a quick Baron. 29 minutes gone, and OMG take it. You're going to see Najin White come in. They find Goong, they see the Baron. They all back off from this one. Save can Rift walk away if Ghoul decides to Spirit Rush after him.
He's going to keep vision of the 4 squad, though, to buy time for Goong.
Well, they're going to keep on going. Goong, he's stepped off to the side. He can get himself a juicy wave. And OMG, they're going to push up. They're going to run straight down the middle. They know that something is up here. They know that somebody is missing. Oh, Lovely going in, trying to find save there. Culling going down, not really finding its mark. Does a little bit of damage to Zephyr. They have the minion wave in. Can they try and go for it? They kick save in. Quickly gets away from it. Oh, Monsoon from Cloud actually blew him out of the fight there. That was a mistake by OMG, and now they have to back away.
And now they have to back away. They had a pretty nice siege set up here, but the Kassadin was kicked in. They couldn't chain the CC onto him, so he got to Outlast. Black Shield as well. Suddenly White Shield responding.
Here comes Goong. Goong joining the fight. Can they keep on pushing? Can they force them away? This is the Baron of OMG. They need to respect that. And I think that's why Najin White Shield are going to play this one cool.
And it's funny, because like your immediate reaction is, hey, Loveling, pick a different target. Kassadin can jump back out. But everyone on this Shield team can jump. The only thing is Kassadin also has a Zanya's. So
yeah,
probably want to pick another target.
And we did see how much wave clear there was on White Shield side as well. This Corki pick is just destroying the minions. You have the Kha'Zix to help in as well. Even Zed actually has pretty good wave clear. He wasn't here for this one. But it's very hard for OMG to actually get down and just push a tower. They have to try and get a pick first to get a kill. That's why Loving tried to go for the Kassadin.
Goong's going to get himself a gigantic chunk of minion wave coverage here. He's happy with that. So, gold between them. Still just 4,000. OMG, they're trying to keep it close. We're at the 30-minute mark. I think the average for Najin White Shield's around 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe start looking to close it out. We'll see how it goes. Everyone's starting to pick up some big items, though, across the board. You can see Sand now with that IE, the Infinity Edge, the Ghost Blade, and of course, looks like he's building up towards that Bloodthirster next.
And OMG, they are going to still have this Baron buff for the Dragon spawn that's about to come up. They won't have it for very long, but they will have it to try and keep control of this area.
And it's really been a problem for OMG in this game. They have lost the Dragons. And when you're against a Kassadin, you don't want to lose these early game Dragons, because that's where he's actually the weakest. And now you give him all this global gold, but quickly he just becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And every single time, Cool was low.
Great maneuvering again. Najin White Shield shove the wave up the mid, forces everybody from OMG to get the blue, and they just lose all vision of the Dragon Pit with 30 seconds before the time of White Shield have complete coverage.
Yeah, again, it's just so clear where Shield are going to go next, because that's where they spend all of their money on wards. They move right in, prep for that Dragon. Now it's up to OMG to try and face check into enemy territory here. This fog of war is going to work
That
for
was
them.
clever.
You have the Baron buff. I mean, they can just push down mid here.
Loveling caught.
Watch out
Sonic
for the skill
wave
shot.
onto Goong there, and Zephyr was so close to being pinged out and kicked in towards them. Of course, does have that Valkyrie to get away. Save's been caught out around the side, but again, they are so mobile. Loveling caught out. Will they focus on it? Not going to catch the Phosphorus Brom on towards him. These teams, they're so slippery.
Yeah, but OMG is doing a very good job of staying away from this Dragon, because there's all these wards placed already. And just
got him.
Seth might be in trouble.
Sonya's Hourglass, he's going to rip walk away, but he's not going to get far enough. In goes going. They catch on. Goong in trouble. He gets exhausted. The dark binding's enough, but there's the hit. The double coming out from Sand. They catch on towards him. They're chasing on to Zephyr. Going is not done yet. Oh, doesn't quite get the slowdown. The Valkyrie is enough from Zephyr. That will be the middle turret. And OMG started to cause problems for Najin White Shield. And the Korean crowd here is cheering for OMG.
They've made such good use of that Baron. The only thing that was left of them, that pocket without vision, they took it, and they've grabbed everything. Now trying to shove in on this inhibitor turret. 2 solos down for Shield.
Going's gone in, they've got Gorilla, they've caught him. Cloud's going to get caught out, though. He's taking a lot of tower hits. That's going to be a good monsoon. It will keep him alive, and the inhibitor turret will fall here as OMG start making some serious waves on Najin White Shield's base. They can back out, they can go for Dragon.
Such a nice play by OMG here, realizing we cannot go down to the Dragon. It's fully warded. We don't even need it. Let's just go mid lane. force White Shield to fight us, and Save in the back line, caught out, dying.
They may lose
way
their
too
inner.
early.
They may lose their inner turret here. Najin White Shield look like they're going to try and rush straight up there, and they are a little out of position with low health. Remember, the Baron buff is now worn off. They do get the Dragon, no, White Shield not going to go for it.
Yeah.
It is a safe team after all, and they don't want to risk it.
Very, very hard for Shield to press right here. But again, all of those moves just brought the gold back to even here. Okay, let's take a look at how Save got himself into such a terrible
he
position.
went for it.
He rip locked in. And
Lovely kick flash.
there we go. Loveling. If you first you don't succeed, try again. He got the Cassidon again, this time with the kick. And no matter how many dashes he had, they were able to chase him down.
The crit. The crit came out from Sand there as well, which is what got Goong down just at the end there. So, Najin White Shield reset the clock here. They're suddenly behind on gold. And this is something they've not had for a fair amount of time. OMG, really, you've just got to give them credit. That one little Baron play has turned this game on its head.
That and, you know, the over-aggressiveness there from Save. Right now, this is the strongest point here for Going. He is a super tank with his Trinity Force. He's extremely threatening to this squishy Shield team.
We also have to highlight the fact Zephyr didn't have his Infinity Edge for this last fight because he went for the Last Whisper second item, and normally Trinity Force into Infinity Edge is the best damage build for Corki early on. He just completed it now. There's of course a lot of armor on Going, so this Last Whisper will be very useful for him.
And that's
but
the
he
problem.
needed Infinity Edge.
It's causing problems for Goong. Who's he going to target now? The QSS has now been picked up by Sand. Of course, there is a Zhonya's on the mid lane. You're not going to go for Going because he is a super tank right now with that Radiance and Frozen Heart, and that's causing serious problems for Najin White Shield. They can't pick out anyone, and that's why OMG are feeling confident. They're just going to come in and brute force down this inhibitor. They've stripped half the hit points off as they back away and keep Najin White Shield pressured.
Yeah, Shield are definitely going to make an adjustment for the next game. Leaving Baron dark after 20 minutes versus a team coming out of the LPL is going to bite you in the back. OMG, remember, Going's greatest fear was being indecisive. What got them back into this game? That decisive call.
Yeah. And can we also just give credit to Loveling for his Lee Sin?
Oh, yeah.
It has been fantastic. Don't give this guy Lee Sin ever again.
Well, OMG realizing the speed and efficiency that Najin White Shield can collapse and chase on somebody that is low. It was cool that got caught out with the Binding Cloud, was also dropped low. But Baron's up in 3 seconds. There goes the vision control. Oh, double warding. That's a slip up from OMG. But Najin White Shield, they're going to rush mid.
I do like the ward just outside the Baron because most people put the pink ward inside the Baron pit and then expect just to clear whatever's in there. The ward just outside, you won't see it with the pink ward. You need to place 2 now, and therefore they will be able to spot if White Shield tries to clear it away and start the Baron. Notice there, pink ward, can't actually see the ward.
Can't see it, and Najin White Shield are starting this one. OMG are close by. Loveling's just off at the side.
Going down so fast.
Here comes Going is a super tank. He's ready, happy to fight and draw the attention, but he's not that strong. He can't take 5 members down.
Baron not
And
regen
Zephyr
again.
picks it up. There goes the culling, though. It will force Najin White Shield away from Baron for now, and that will be enough, but it is a big death time
It's
already.
risky, they're starting it again. They're very risky, just back away now. He took too much damage. Going the hero here, the captain of OMG, sacrificing himself, stops the Baron.
Well, we saw it yesterday, of course, that flash rise. They just went in and straight up 3v1.
It works, man. Just send in your top laner. That's how you stop Baron.
Get in and do the damage. Look at this. They're trying to sneak down the bottom. Cool is heading down there,
Looking
but
for
Safe
pick.
is already there. So I think that way is going to get cleared out. Can he manage to land and poke towards him? Has he got enough to take down Save? I'm not sure at this stage. He has that Zhonya's, remember. He's going to try and pick the charm. Not quite there. He does have the support. Sand's going to come down. They want to try and quickly take this turret and back away. I'm not sure it's going to work out for them because look at Najin White Shield. They're making moves straight to Baron.
OMG have plenty of wards, though. They can see it and act accordingly. They're going to collapse back on it.
Oh, the ward just outside, and this is pretty bad research from White Shield because we have seen this a lot in LPL where people actually place 2 wards, one inside the pit and one just outside. They should know, and if they want to start a Baron, either use the sweeper just outside or have 2 pink wards ready.
And Gorilla even has an Oracle's upgrade. Not sitting around Baron entrance, though. Didn't get to see it. Trying to check the bushes instead.
White Shield must be questioning themselves. Obviously, you can see that gigantic gold lead. They had almost 5,000 gold at one point. It's all square now. They have that exposed inhibitor in the mid lane, so they have to keep check of OMG. Every time they shove that wave up, and they can't risk just going for Baron and then losing out. Safe. Oh, that sweeping lens didn't quite catch it yet, did I think it saw him, but he didn't want to risk going towards it. Gorilla will go in, but again, they're not spotting that single ward like you mentioned from OMG.
Another big
Oh,
thing.
they're going to try and single him out. They're trying to go for Gorilla. Oh, good dart binding. Court going. Slows him down. Not going to catch him at that speed.
Another big thing for that last team fight that we saw from Shield and OMG was that Shield solo laners were level 15 and they hadn't got that level 16 point to their ultimate, whereas both Going and Cool had it. This time around though, Shield solo laners have hit that point.
Ooh. Loveling trying to make a pick. Can he make a play? We said Lee Sin was going to be such a big focus for both of these junglers. Both want to get their hands on it. And it has caused some problems in earlier fights.
Ooh, and look at this. Gorilla is almost ready to complete his Zhonya's Hourglass, which Shield, without that tank, they don't usually play with a hard tank. Having Morgana with an Hourglass brings a lot of zoning to a team fight from your support role. Really helps out these teams that do not run with the actual tank stats.
Yeah, it does mean, though, there's no Mikhail coming in to try and save a target who does get
Yeah,
charmed.
you have to dodge that charm.
This Baron fight, this Baron bait, the back and forth, this is actually playing into OMG's hands. This is what they've done for the entire season in the LPL. They are well aware of how to play this dance, and they're not getting caught out by anything. Najin Whiteshield trying tricks, going, trying to draw them in, will clear out the ping ward. And OMG once again clear out the majority of ward coverage that Najin Whiteshield have.
And OMG in the LPL, they were one of the teams that actually played around Baron really well. We just saw yesterday a lot of risky Barons, from Royal Club, but OMG have been one of the teams that actually have worked around Baron and not been drawn over to that magnet. This time though, this is risky having two people bottom. Shield though, they would have to commit really hard to this Baron.
Yeah, but OMG still, they have the same ward just outside, so they know, okay, you didn't start it yet. Here's the fight.
Cloud, going caught out. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Instead, he turns it around. He goes in for save. There's the damage. There's the Zonya's drawn out. OMG back away. They knew that cooldown's going to be huge. DFG fired up. They go on. Saves the trouble. He goes down. They catch him out. Goog has to back away, but the colleague is ripping him apart. The Baron in comes in. Lovely finds Zephyr straight in towards the Black Shield. Tries to get caught out. Stands on it. There's going to be the Soul Shackles. Is it enough? It will ping off Cloud. Taken low, but OMG come out on top with a 2 for 0. They're not done yet. Going trying to catch on Gorilla, not enough, but that frees up the Baron.
And OMG really show how good they are playing these dive-on comps here, where you just rush onto whatever target you can get to and you just burst them down into it. The fact there's no tank on Whiteshield means Save is the first target, and he goes down very, very fast. He only has the Hourglass to protect himself.
Again, OMG, great play around the Baron. They didn't go for one of the risky ones. The one thing you can't say for Shield, though, is that they had both side lanes pushing during that. They did get shoved into the turrets. Again, though, second Baron here for OMG. Last time around, they made great use of it, and there's nothing to distract them from taking down the rest of these outer turrets. Those two secondary turrets should be pretty easy money for them.
You see it again here. So Save actually jumps in. He's always the guy who wants to engage, because he's the only frontline member they do have. And he has the Hourglass. It's a good Black Shield. What now? I mean, you use your Hourglass. Cool still has charges on his ult. He can just follow him up, kill him. Aurelia can constantly dive on. The reason China loves Aurelia so much is because you can always dive onto the back line and just follow people and kill them.
And again, our featured matchup. That fight right there were the two solo laners of OMG versus the two solo laners of Shield.
Woo. Black Shield was just a fraction of a second too late, but it was enough for OMG to get Zephyr down. They come in, Baron on, and in goes Loveling. Thought about kicking, actually used it on Zephyr. This time the Black Shield does get stopped. They are going to take down the inhibitor. They may lose their top turret here. Going has teleport. We'll see if he backs off and goes to prevent Save from taking that top turret. I think they will.
He needs to recall and go up. There will be a tower though for Save, because there's been so many minions constantly pushed into this tower here, taking it very low. He needs to go for Whiteshield, but the fact that OMG got this very first Baron simply meant that Whiteshield could never get to a point where they could actually split push, because they had to go back and defend it. Then they lost the fight, they lost the turrets, and the comp just never really managed to do anything because they lost that first Baron, and now OMG stronger in the team fights.
Shield tanked down the bottom turret, so OMG currently up in turret, 6-5, Baron on, inhibitor down in the mid lane, and the Korean Najin Whiteshield on home turf being pressured by the Chinese team OMG to make it an all-China semi-finals. Long way to go before we get there, of course. This is a best of 5, and that is honestly home turf for both of these teams. They're very comfortable in these best of 5 series.
Yeah, OMG are fighting to get further than they did last year. They swore that they were going to get much further this time around. Would be that point.
Down the focus, but look at that Monsoon doing so much help. Goon goes in and just gets ripped apart by OMG. There goes the catch on towards him. Going comes around the side. Zephyr's the focus. He's tanking up the turret for days. Gorilla has to use the Zonyas. He's in trouble. He's going to get caught out. That's the second. There's a third catch as well. The inhibitor turret will fall. They're tanking it through. They don't care. They're going for the Nexus. Super Minions get one down. They'll take the second, and the Nexus will fall. They dive on Zephyr and keep him busy while the rest of OMG come around the side. The Nexus will fall, and OMG will take game one against Najin White Shield.
Such a good performance here by OMG. That Baron call was insane. They were behind, picked up the Baron, just rushed it instantly, and then they could just force White Shield to team fight where OMG had the stronger comp.
Yeah, I mean, it was classic Shield for the beginning of the game, pulling their team across the map, concentrating all of their wards where they were going to be fighting, but they left a crucial area open against OMG, the Baron, and they jumped right on it. By the way, OMG also ended the game by split pushing against Shield. They had Go going in the top lane, and it forced Shield to try and force that fight. Then he TP'd in and collapsed. Beautiful, beautiful game there from OMG, clawing their way back in from a single misstep.
Solid control overall, honestly. They were 5,000 gold down at that point. They managed to turn the Baron, and we were talking at that time how Najin White Shield were just controlling the map. The one part they didn't control was that Baron pit. And as you said, after the 20-minute mark, you cannot leave that area blind.